Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and today we're going to be doing a brick haul. Now before we get into the meat of this package, just wanted to discuss with you whether I wanted to include brick haul videos on my channel, because from one perspective people like to see them, it seems, and take interest in what's coming up and the whole process of the hobby and getting the pieces as well as building them into the end product. But from the other perspective, seeing every single piece that enters my possession might be of less interest to the majority. I don't know, so please let me know. Before Mrs. Hood agreed to me using the spare bedroom as the Lego room going forward, I'd stopped buying pieces because I basically had nowhere to put the finished products once I'd built them. But that didn't stop me designing. I usually design using my computer and Lego Digital Designer. So over those months I built up a large amount of designs that I hadn't actually put into practice. So when I moved into the new Lego room, I now have a large amount of designs that I want to continue with and make into reality. So I've been ordering like crazy, and now I have a large amount of orders to catch up on. So whether that's of interest or not, me going through package after package, I may just focus on the interesting ones, but this is my first one to act as a trial run. I don't tend to buy a vast amount of stock as some people do when they're buying their pieces, tend to top up their drawers, endless drawers with endless pieces. That's not the way I work. I tend to design, as I said, using Lego Digital Designer, and then I only buy the actual specific pieces that I need to build those designs. And occasionally I'll buy some additional pieces for experimentation or just to play around with or add to things. But I don't tend to have a resting stock of Lego pieces. Now, as you can see, this order is quite big. It's in a box and it's from Lego Bricks and Pieces. Lego Bricks and Pieces is fantastic. A, it's new bricks, and B, they've got a wide selection. Obviously they don't have things that are long out of print, and they definitely don't have interesting sticker pieces and so on, but they're especially good for tiles and small pieces and small plates and so on, because they're much more keenly priced on Lego than in the secondary market. Bricklink, it seems that a lot of small pieces are at inflated prices, maybe just because they're very much in demand, I don't know, but you know, buying hundreds of 1x2 tiles for my train ballast at 10p a piece rather than 4p a piece is obviously quite a big difference. So I have to be honest, I've already opened this one. I've opened it in order to get at some of the pieces for the train ballast. So I've got, what have I got? 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags, and that, as you can see, is a bag full of 2x4 tiles, which you can probably guess is for my train ballast. But in addition to this, I also had a huge bag of 1x2 tiles in reddish brown that I needed to make that video, so those were the ones I removed. So that's them. I'll put them to one side. These two are literally mixed bags, so let's go through them in more detail. Right, so let's go through these bags one at a time. As I say, you'll have to bear with me because I haven't done a whole video before, so I don't know how much I'm going to keep in shot or how well it's going to look, but let's see. So first of all, these new pieces being very flexible fence pieces. I think they're from a Jurassic Park set where they're holding a dinosaur in a pen. Anyway, in a similar way, I'm going to use this for some fencing, probably around my airport, which I have grand plans for. So that'll be Nottingham, East Midlands Airport. Not a faithful reproduction of the real one, but a nice Legoized one. What else have we got in here? So I can see some pieces already from the Once Upon a Brick set. So I wanted the grandma's nightgown set up, so that's that. I also had the 8x16 Once Upon a Brick tile as part of this order that I also used in one of my earlier videos, cheating a bit, and I put that on the back of my Grand Emporium and Casino, and that came in this order. Also, I've got some good torsos from Ninjago, which I don't particularly buy, but we've got an NH, which is probably Ninjago High or something. What's that sort of school coat sort of thing, college coat? So 2 of those, just so I can have some jocks perhaps. There's a junior's airport pilot, 2 of those. As I said before, I'm going to have a airport, Nottingham, East Midlands, so I need lots of pilots buzzing around. That is also from a Ninjago set. It's old lady's sort of cardigan with a nice pattern on both sides, so I'm going to have a few old people. I've got plans to build a mobility scooter amongst other things, so maybe that will be the rider of the mobility scooter in her lovely cardigan. This must be from the Speed Champions line. It's a Dodge t-shirt with a nice jacket and torso. What else have we got? This is a top from Ninjago. It's Cole, his top. I'm not going to buy a whole set just for a few pieces. Get the focus right. So that's a nice t-shirt with some sound levels on and a black leather jacket. And I think that might be his trousers. So put that on. Yeah, it is. You can see it overlapping onto the hip. So that looks really good. And what else have I got of interest in here? Now there's some new pieces for me here, being different light bluish grey tiles. So I've got the corner pieces for the first time, 2x2 corner. And I've also got the 2x2, well, what do you call that? I don't know. That shape, whatever that shape is. And I've also got the 2x3. I'm going to use all 3 of these to experiment with pavements or sidewalks, just to see if I can get some better shapes, especially on the corners, because obviously a combination of these 2 pieces is going to allow us to do some diagonal lines. And though I'm not trying to do anything that crazy, it's just to make that edge less jagged when you have some corners. So I might go and use those in the Lego room straight away, to be honest. I think that's the way forward. That looks very neat, doesn't it? Excellent. And then I remember this. So the Chinese dinner set came out for Chinese New Year. That's 80101, I believe. And there were lots of fantastic tile pieces. And like a lot of people, I really wanted that set, but not really because I needed a Chinese dining room, but more that I wanted the really interesting food pieces that came with it. And when I discovered that these were available on Bricks and Pieces, I really didn't want the set anymore. It was really hard to get, and because it was only released in the Far East, and you know, it was at a premium, have to pay import taxes and all the rest of it. So I've just got as many of these. So I've got 2 of the prawn pieces there. As many of these as were available at the time, and I've got a second order where I pretty much pick up the remainder, because obviously a lot of people were doing the same thing. So here's one. Got the large fish on a plate with what looked like chili bits, I suppose. I got 2 of those. What else have I got? Any more pattern pieces? No, it's more of the grey ones. That's about it of interest, I think. So I've got some sand green tiles. They're going to be part of my subway system, which real Nottingham doesn't have, but nonetheless. And the rest are for various projects. As I say, I buy specifically what I need. So a lot of these pieces are going to have a very specific purpose, but not one that's going to be immediately apparent from looking at them here. Let's move on to the second bag. Right, so the second of these bags, first obvious thing, is this large boat hull piece. And that's from the new fireboat set, the 60213. And I was considering buying that set, but really only for this single piece, so I could build my own boat, because I don't really want a very small fireboat. So when I saw that this was available as well, and it doesn't matter that it's missing the stickers because they had fire emblems on and so on, so now I can build whatever boat I want using that. So I got that bit as the only bit. I don't have any exact plans for that yet, but I've got the main piece I need secured. So let's look at the rest. Okay, so another big-ish piece, these large 8x6 ramps. Now, the city that I'm building at the moment, you may have seen a few from a few of the videos that I've got tables at different levels and at different shapes. And the ultimate goal is to have a city that's working on 5 different levels, because what I've realised was that a lot of Lego cities are all on the same level, and it's a bit like we're living in Holland or something where it's completely flat there, whereas the real world's not like that. And lots of people build mountains where all of a sudden from the ground being incredibly flat, there's just a huge jump to a mountain and then back down again. So by making the city on 5 levels, 1 being underground, 1 being sea level, 2 being normal level, and 1 being a high ground level, as well as having planes held up from the floor and dangling from the ceiling, and even some stuck to the ceiling, then we're going to have Lego at all levels, and we're also going to be able to get as much Lego in that room as possible, which is the most important thing. So these ramps are part of a way of getting between those levels on the roadway and on the walkways. So I've got a few of these already, but I needed a couple more. So we'll see those when I start on my marina, which I think will be the first aspect of that multi-layered city that I'm going to be able to get to. What else have we got? We've got some other big pieces, 2 of those, 4 of those. Now these cylinder pieces combined with these round pieces here are going to make up the stanchions of one of my bridges, which are going to go across my Lego bay, and they're going to hold up a rail bridge in this case. So I didn't have those pieces. I've got a lot of the pieces for the actual bridge itself, but I needed these. So that's 2 bridge stanchions sorted. What else got here? These new case pieces. Now, I haven't seen these before. They're rather fabulous for a pull-along case. And there's a lime and a dark blue. I've literally not seen these before. They're much bigger than I thought they would be. And you compare that with a Lego figure. Anyway, so somebody will be pulling those along in my airport, no doubt. So got 2 of those. Oh no, 3. Other things, I can see some Technic pieces here. So these really interested me. So this is a clutch wheel and a clutch plate, I think they're called, or a driving wheel and a clutch plate, something like that. And I think there might be another one somewhere. There we go. And these are used by people who are really into Technic, who create interesting machines that work, first of all, with a motor in one direction and then perhaps in another direction. There's another piece. I'm probably not explaining that very well. But in short, rather than just having something using a Lego motor to go in one direction, I want something to be able to zigzag between 2 directions, and do something more complicated. And one thing I've got an idea for doing on that is to have a cable car going from the bottom of something to the top of something, and then the top of something back down, without me having to touch anything on the controls. And the mechanism may well have one of these in it with 2 wheels, and it alternates between driving it one way and then the other way. So the jury's out on whether that'll work or not, but that's the idea. Got some more torsos. This was from the new Lego hospital, and it's the torso for the helicopter pilot. It's much nicer than the one I've got for my helicopter pilot for my hospital, which we will see in due course. So that combined with some azure blue trousers, which I don't see here, but nonetheless are probably somewhere en route, will make a really good outfit for him. Got another top here, which is obviously from some sort of skier. Maybe it's from that snow plow set, I think. And I just really like that torso because it's a really nice jacket. We've got this from Ninjago. This is the torso from Fred Finley from the Quake Mech set, 70632. You see he's got a little microphone there. So if I'm going to have somebody talking into a microphone presenting the news or something like that in the future, that may well be the torso I use. Got a couple of bare chests for the beach. Very nice. What else have we got? Got a rubber outfit with a fur-lined jacket on the top. Can't have enough baddies in your in town. I'm going to have absolutely loads. There's a nice sort of foreman's shirt with ID badge. Construction worker. So this, it's a purple crab. I can't remember the set this came from. It's the usual crab, but in this lilac purple. I have no idea what I'm going to use this for. Maybe an underwater scene. It's not very realistic, but whatever. I also, for a similar reason, bought this bizarre Afro Wig in pink, which is from some set I can't recall. Let's just see what that looks like. Got a winking lady face, and then it's a bit over the top, but I've got to say I like it. Oh, there's another one of those cases. What else do we have? We have that's a bit of blonde hair there, like that. Ah, this was another one that I was very happy to discover you could buy on Bricks and Pieces. It's the popcorn box. Now they released a popcorn machine, and like a lot of people, the only bit I really wanted was the popcorn box itself. Well, you can get that on Bricks and Pieces. So I got a few of those. There's another one. So I can have popcorn without having to buy that set. And that set only had one of these, so I think I've got about 3 or 4. I've also got this baby. This is from, I think, one of the Christmas sets, the Christmas train maybe, or the Christmas train station. Maybe they're the same thing. So the head should be somewhere. Little yellow head that's probably rolled off. Oh, there it is. And I liked this, not just because it's another baby, but it's a different one. And they've got a very cute little reindeer picture on the torso. So, excellent. Got one of those black cloak pieces that's very hard to make focus. There we go. So one of the new shorter ones in black. Not that it's appropriate for Fred's torso, but I have no idea what I'm going to use that for. But it's the first one I've got. What else do we have? Got more of those tiles from that Chinese dinner set. I've got some rice. Now, annoyingly, because I'm going to have a Chinese restaurant and always was, I saw on a Bricklink store some of the bowls that came with one of the Ninjago series figures, and it's a white bowl with blue trim and a blue dragon on. I thought, oh, well, that'll be fantastic. So, great personal expense, I bought about 8 of those for the customers of my Chinese restaurant to use. And then they go and release some that are available from Lego. But nonetheless, I can put these rice pieces in those bowls and it'll be even better. Oh, that's another Technic piece to do with the clutch somehow. Don't know how that works. I'm going to have to do a lot of work on that. What else do we have? Spring rolls. A newspaper. You can never have enough newspapers for newspaper shops and people reading them on benches and so on. I remember what that blank 2-3 tiles for. That's for a Beware of the Crocodiles sign where I got the stickers from someone else. I used these on top of the telescope piece as street lanterns. We've all seen those sort of old style ball lanterns, and they'll make up part of my, as will all these sand green pieces, will make up my subway entrances. And I'm going to have a working subway underneath my city that will be accessible by the from the streets. So that's a big project that I'm really looking forward to because I haven't done that before. Let me see, microphones. There's a few pieces where I'm going to make the squid sign that's on the side of Ninjago City. It's not a set I have, not a set I particularly want, but I like the squid sign. I'm probably going to stick that on my Chinese restaurant. I've got a lot of these curved, these are new as well, curved and right angled tile pieces in blue, and that's to do a sign for my gym. So we have lots of Lego minifigures keeping fit in the gym. And I think, apart from all these myriad of different pieces, which all have a purpose, believe it or not, they're the real ones of interest. Let's see if there's another food tile, that's another spring roll. And that's it. So, that is my first brick haul video. Do let me know if that was interesting. Do let me know if you want more, because if you do, I've got plenty more. And otherwise, I'll see you next time on Robin Hood Bricks. Bye.